Hello, today we will be dealing with, or talking about, the newly redesigned Flynn. Alright, there he is, there is his CGI face, and he will be joining the crew very shortly, okay? We've got some people here to welcome him, and of course, his little sidekick and fellow firefighting engine Belle is here, and she's a little jealous because she has not been redesigned yet, but who knows, maybe shortly she will be. Alright, so there's Belle, and she will be hosting this review. Alright, or co-hosting it, I should say. Alright, so now two other things we need to look at even before we get started is the original Trackmaster Flynn. There he is, right there. Now this is the version that did not have the red wheels on it. All right, I also have the original version that does have the red wheels on it. And then also we have Mr. Playrail Flynn, okay? Look at that, look at his face. He's got the little smirk on his face. Okay, now this one, I initially, when I saw it, I really liked it and I wanted to order it because I thought my son would really dig it because it looked like it had the wheels that go on the road as well as the wheels that go on the rail. But when I received it, I realized that those are just false wheels for the road that are right there, and he just really has the same wheels to go on the rails as the Trackmaster version. So I was a little bit disappointed. This one did have the ladder that went up, which was kind of cool, and it was light and fast, and so I did dig that about it. But other than that, you know, it was painted a little bit better. But other than that, I really was disappointed in the Playrail version once I got it, okay? That being said, we have those two versions, and now we come to the newly redesigned version, okay? So now, let's open this guy up and see what he has to offer, all right? All right. Like this. There he is. All right. Jumping out of the package. All right. And incidentally, let's look at the back of the package. Samson, you should have seen by now already. We did a review of him and an extensive run of Samson. And of course, you've seen him at the Dino Park. There's Flynn, of course, and then Scruff. You should have seen it by now as well, too. If not, I will put links in the video so that you can see him, okay? If you want to. All right. So those are the only ones they are showing right now. And one thing I discovered about this new Flynn is something that is going to help some of you people who are interested in or disappointed in Edward. I'm going to link that together with this some kind of way. I'll show you what I mean. All right, but anyway, first, before we talk about the actual engine, I'm going to talk about the hose and the other car that he has with the ladder on it. Okay, these are two really light pieces of that he has to pull around on the track with him. One is, of course, the hose that is movable and positionable, so you can put it to a certain, angle, which is kind of cool. And that's in the rear, and then in the middle he has his other ladder car. Okay, so also to note, this is the Playrail car. You can put that next to this one. And they're almost like the same size and the same concept. Okay, except the play rail one is very detailed. Okay, whereas there's absolutely, you know, besides the yellow stripe, there's nothing on the new version of this. I don't even know what you call that car, but that's that. And then its back part, it has a lot of detail to it, and it's kind of cool. And it's a one-wheeler, whereas that is a lot different than the hose concept of this one. So this one is actually a hose, and this one is like a extension car of some sort. Okay, and these go with the play rail one. The original Trackmaster had one. I did the custom paint work on this because it was none on there. And I did this to go along with the custom work I did on the Trackmaster version of Flynn that we customized. So that is that, okay? And that is much bigger, as you can see, than the play rail, or much bigger than the newly redesigned one. Okay, so that's that. We'll get back to those maybe later. All right, so now let's look at the engine itself. Okay, red wheels, and like I said, there is a Trackmaster version, original Trackmaster, that did have red wheels, but this one has red wheels and the yellow stripe, and then pretty much the switch has been moved to the middle as opposed to when it was on the side of the original Trackmaster one. All right, face wise, look at the face. Face is pretty much the same, right? Or a little different, a little more detail over here on this one, and a little bit bigger per se. Okay, but like if you look at the detail that they have on the side, the non-painted detail, I should say, is very similar to on both engines. Even the back, look at that. See that pretty good. All right, original Trackmaster here, newly redesigned right there. Both of them have a ladder on the top that does not move, and it has these holes on the top right here that don't, you know, go anywhere and move anywhere like Bell's does. Okay, and side, pretty much the same kind of detailing on it. Okay, now here's one thing that this is probably a first, I should say, since the trains have been redesigned. But this version, which is the new version, is actually smaller than the Trackmaster version, the original version. And I mean that. It's like when you put them side by side, look at that. It's actually shorter than that one. See that? It's shorter. And lengthwise, this is incredible. I didn't realize this. Look at this. Lengthwise, it's that much shorter than the original. There they are, lined up at the front. And you go all the way to the back. This is shorter. Who knew? It's actually smaller. And side by side with the wheels, both is shorter, and it's shorter in length, and it's shorter in height than the original Trackmaster version. So I know everybody's thinking them to you know, they're going to grow in size like, you know, like Emily and some of the other ones did, but not with Flynn. So that's cool. Now here is where I'm going to say I'm gonna connect this thing with Edward that I was talking about. Now everybody was complaining about Edward because of his piston rods, and they weren't too long, and they just gave him the same piston rods as, you know, James and Henry and everybody else. Now, one of the designs, I need to find Edward. Where's my book? Okay, so Edward had the short piston rods, right? And then the newly redesigned one did not adhere to that, right? So everybody was like upset, whatever. Now, if they simply had put one of these steel connectors right here on this false wheel, they could have did the same thing with this version, right? But because they were trying to keep the chassis the same with all of these engines, they put the wheels up here, all right, which was lazy on their part. Now, remember, you saw my review of Emily. I said on the back of here, James, Diesel, Henry, Gordon, they took Edward off. They also took off Diesel 10, right? So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe, now I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, and I'll back it up right. Maybe they are going to redo Edward. Maybe. The reason I can say that is because here's with Flynn. Now this is where I'm going to connect the dots. With Flynn, this is the first time I saw this. Take a good look. The wheels are Flynn are in the front, and they're connected to the top. They are not connected to the chassis. You see that? That's the same chassis as the other ones, but there's no wheels on there. If they did this for Flynn, then they could possibly do that for Edward. See what I'm saying? They could take these wheels here off, and they could put the wheels in the front for Edward. They could put these wheels, the same kind of wheels like that, on the front, or on the build it into a thing just like this, like what they did for Flynn, and then put the piston rod back there, okay, and have Edward look a little bit more legitimate. Now, I'm saying that because we're moving forward. Edward was in the first group that came out. Everybody complained and thought, you know, nobody was listening. I think they're listening, guys. I think they are listening, and I think by chance that you guys might have some more hope for Edward. I do hope they don't make a big deal out of it. If they do, I simply hope they just change it and just start shipping Edward in the same package he was before, and he just is done. Because look at this. See, this is the chassis for Flynn, and this is the first one like this. This is the first one that does not have wheels connected to this, and the wheels are built into the top part. All right. Now I will say this, because I've ran him already on the track. There is a trade-off. There is a trade-off, like with several things, and I hope to show you in real time, but I don't want to make this review like 20 minutes. But I hope to show you that there's a trade-off, that he does not run as smoothly as the other ones do. And some of the other pieces, like the hazard tracks, the breakaway bridge, he had some problems going over those. Okay, so if you watch the breakaway bridge review I did, I left him out of that, and I left him out of that purposely because he was not functioning correctly on the on those different sets. So that is how you guys who are wanting Edward to get redone or revised, or just be a better rendition of him, it might happen. Okay, I don't know anything. I don't have any inroads to Fisher-Price. They don't ask me anything. I just simply this is just simply something I'm thinking about. So let me know what you guys think. That's important. But meanwhile, back to Flynn. Okay, so Flynn, look at that. Nice and quiet. Alright. Same chassis as the other ones, like I said, except no wheels on here. So this fits in there, and you can screw him right in there. Cool. So there you have it. There's Flynn. Now, I'm going to test him out really quick with some things because, like I said, I don't want to make this review too long. And I got some other stuff to show you guys about Flynn. Okay, back to Bill. Bill, what do you think? Huh? You think we're going to give him a run? All right. So Bill says, yes, we can give him a run on the track. So, with Flynn, we see he had some problems on the track. Now he can run, and he has run through this setup pretty much like it is with no problems. The hazard tracks do create a problem for him. So you need to be aware of that, those hazard tracks. And it's unfortunate because a fire engine, you would want to be able to go anywhere in a town or through any kind of hazards to get to an emergency, okay? So, but we know this is all pretend. So just kind of keep Fiery Flynn on the flatter, straighter, more tracks and the larger curves for him to function at his best, okay? What I'd like to show you now is we did a little bit of updating to the buffers and to the ladder piece to make it look a little bit better, a little bit snappier for Flynn, and we did some updating to Flynn himself, to the new one. So now I didn't put 3 lights on. I did not put 3 lights on him as I did the previous version. You know, like there's three lights on that version, which is cool. It's great up and down the track. I put 2 lights on him though, but they are just extra bright. Look at those bright lights on Flynn. And I did some customization to them. Okay, that's Fiery Flynn. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me, do you like Fiery Flynn? Do you think you'll be getting him? Do Do you think his design shows any kind of promise for Edward in the future? What other changes would you like to see? Tell me what you guys think. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Sorry for the length of this video. I know it's long. But thank you guys, as always, for watching, hitting the like button, and hitting the favorites button. Alright, thanks, and have a great day.